Guys, good morning. Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. Nadeska here with DJ Akademiks and Wayno.
What's up, Ak?
Y'all can't believe it's Thursday already.
Thursday,
man.
Friday, yes.
Moving. Yo,
Man, I feel like
2019 soon.
Damn, don't get that far ahead.
Right.
But yo, we had a week off, and I'm like, yo, we finally get back in the mix of things. I'm enjoying talking about hip hop, and we already had the weekend. At least our weekend.
Salute to our viewers. They pushed us through.
Of
They
course.
did push us through.
Of course. And of course, salute to it's been quite the interesting week in hip hop.
Absolutely.
All right, Ak, the biggest plot twist of the year. We know Russ is sick of it. He's had it. He said on The Breakfast Club he was going to leak video footage of him beating someone's ass. Big talk shit. All right, so Yung Bans promptly got on Twitter to confirm that it wasn't him, and he threw out the fuck Russ one more time, so that left one candidate.
Let Ak read this one. Ak, read that tweet, man.
Pull that up again.
Read the Yung Bans tweet, man. Read the Yung Bans tweet.
If we've learned by what we're about to find out now,
Right.
saying fuck Russ is
I was
not
going to
good
say,
for
repeat
me. I ain't
that. He
reading
might
that
pull
nigga.
up. He might pull up.
You read it, Wayno?
No,
You be at these festivals?
Listen, I'm cracking up because Yung Bans said, y'all know damn well Russ ain't beat my ass. Fuck Russ.
Y'all said it, no problems. All right, look, so Smokepurpp. Well, Akademiks, you leaked this footage. Should we just play it and you'll explain how this all went down?
I can do it however
So
I
here's
want.
footage of this fight, confirmed that it happened, and also Smokepurpp explaining what happened. Let's take a look.
Like I said before, I go in the bathroom, I come out the bathroom, it's like 7 dudes there, I ain't never seen them in my life. You feel me? They look like they with the fuck shit, I'm with the fuck shit, so I didn't give a fuck. I fought all 7 niggas.
You think people are gonna be scared to say fuck Russ now?
No. I mean, personally, I don't think that people are going to be scared to. When I look at Smokepurpp, this is unfortunate only because Smokepurpp is such a nice young man.
Yeah.
Have you met Smokepurpp?
I met him before. He's a very nice young man.
Super dope person.
He's a very nice young man.
Super dope person. And really, that's where my stance is with all of this. Because a lot of rappers have a internet persona and they do things for trolling or just for, hey, this is the internet culture, we're following the wave. And in person, they're really nice guys. Like,
He's
you
a
know what I mean?
really
Like,
nice
some
guy.
people seem like, oh, he looks so dangerous. Yo,
Nobody ever said that about Smokepurpp, that he looks dangerous. I'm just keeping it all
Some
the way
kids on the
100.
internet probably think that.
okay. Do y'all want me to be honest with y'all?
Yes.
Be honest with me.
Always.
I had a conversation with Russ last night because I said, damn, Russ, you are the most unlikely candidate that we thought this footage would have came out, and apparently it was because them dissing you. And he says, well, why do you think that? Especially with Smokepurpp. I'm like, I'm not going to lie, and this is really my introduction to Smokepurpp. I'm watching this guy online. Keep in mind, before last year, March, I never met nobody in the industry. So I'm really like a fan at home.
Right.
You've been around a lot of these rap
Yeah,
niggas.
absolutely.
You kind of probably know, all right, this nigga definitely ain't on shit.
I've been around the toughest one, so I don't be looking at none of them like
Okay. But fresh off the porch, and I mean, listen, when you show me some shit, I like to believe it until somebody else proves otherwise. It ain't gonna be me.
Okay.
Somebody else. So I'm seeing Smokepurpp all over the place with a bunch of guns. I'm like, whoa, this guy either likes to show off his Second Amendment rights, or he is some type of goon. Also, I see him on Instagram beef with hella people. I'm gonna slap you when I see you. This is him talking aggressive to the phone. So I'm guessing that's the energy he's presenting outside of the internet. That's what I'm assuming.
Energy. You hear what Ak said? The energy.
No, but
But you know how we be.
No.
on that
Of course,
combo.
that's a direct energy though.
Right.
Like you're saying, I'm gonna do this. You're a bitch. You're this. You're that. And again, when you're saying that to someone else that you might see, I don't think they're gonna just run and be like, "Oh, I was just joking, bro. Dap it up. Let's take a joke." Nah. So when I saw, like, I've seen other stuff which I won't mention, and I'm like, that's not like Smokepurpp. I also met Smokepurpp.
Okay.
And I'm like, this guy is so sweet. Like, he's a nice guy. Like, where does that come from? And
sweet.
I think it's the internet culture that does it. And also these artists want to stick out and present an image that we see that, then we see this.
Well, so this has been going on for months, right? But if this happened back in July, why is it being leaked now? So Russ said if they responded, if they said fuck Russ again, he would drop it. I don't think Smokepurpp said anything since that interview. Did he?
Well, Russ is, and listen, you know,
The album's out. Keep it
Well,
going.
the general consensus is
promo
that y'all
time.
don't like Russ and I like
That's
Russ.
not-
That's what people think, right?
I
But
thought we made up though.
yeah, but I fuck with Russ, but Russ is dropping an album, right or wrong. And I think that not that this is a part of the rollout or nothing, but it is an aspect to let people know, stop bothering me. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, he did a few interviews and he said, yo, like, people pick on me all day, but when I expose these people that's picking on me, then I'm on some bullshit, right? This is like a really big Dave Chappelle of fucking Boondock skit, for real. Like, I didn't imagine to see Russ running down on niggas. Run Down Russ is his new name.
Do you think there are more videos like this?
Oh yeah, this absolutely. Russ
has been on a rampage?
He has a library of videos. Yo, who knew? And he told me, he was like, yeah. Well, I won't say he said this, but he said it. He said, yo, listen, man. He said, think about this. We international. A lot of these rappers you believe are super rich. By the way, congrats to him. He made the Forbes list. Mm-hmm. He moves a certain way everywhere. Smokepurpp, I don't know how he's set up when he tours internationally, but he ain't going overseas with eight people.
So all these fights are happening overseas.
It could happen domestically, but people move differently when they're home than abroad. Sometimes you're like, oh, we have no problem in Germany. It happened in Germany. Who's going to Germany with 10 people? You're thinking that half the people don't even speak the language. You go there and then you rely on festival security, but also what we realize, we watch that clip again, there's somebody with a big ass security shirt, he's just standing back. Security ain't like, they're thinking the venue paid me. Nigga, take your ass whooping, I'll just make sure you all right. You don't get too far, but do what you gotta do.
The cool thing about this is like, it's funny, but at the same time, it's not only because, the funny aspect is that Purpp, he was talking crazy. He wrote a check his ass couldn't cash, and he got ran down on.
The sister part was bad too.
What part?
Smokepurpp had put Russ's little sister as his avatar picture.
He did?
And that's probably when shit really escalated. You know how it is. It's family.
I think the family thing keeps. Yeah, you know, like the younger rappers, there's no line to their disrespect.
Yeah. Right.
Of course, 6ix9ine, he's telling everybody within an ear's reach to do whatever, right? And then you hear other rappers, if they feel like the disrespect isn't getting to you, they'll disrespect your girl, your mom, your child, and at that point, people usually lose it.
See, but and this is my thing is like, first off, like if you have a problem with another man, you should not be disrespecting his family, right? Now, if once the point where you cross the line of disrespecting somebody's family, if you're not ready for what's going to come with that, don't do it at all. I didn't know that he put up a picture of Russ' sister and all that, like.
Well, when I talked to Russ, the first thing I said, Russ, why you do that, man? And he said, this is going to be the reaction after dudes bully me all year. Fuck Russ is the tagline. And they're throwing on my family, and I can't even. He said, all we did, we saw him, we asked for clarification. Anything that happened afterwards, we don't know about, we just asked for clarification. And I gotta be honest with you, there is a breaking point. I told you, I used to get, when I was in primary school in Jamaica, there was a nigga who tried to bully me. And one day, I hauled off and whipped his ass. Your man were best friends afterwards.
But where's the footage, though?
Where's the footage, Act?
I ain't know.
That shit ain't never happened.
No, but that happens.
But
that happens. Like, that happens.
Nah, for real, yo, bullying is a real thing. And honestly, as sad as it sounds, it takes one of these incidents for people to be like, you know what? This isn't the guy that we all pick on.
I know, but at the same time, I don't want it to also open up a door for people to say, fuck Russ, he ain't gonna do that shit to me. Because you got both sides. You got people that's just gonna antagonize it. Like, even I think that if Yung Bans had nothing to do with this, then like it's kind of fucked up that his name got thrown in it. Because it's like now he's probably has a bunch of people at him like, yo, did Russ do something to you? Did Russ do something to you? That's why he responded the way he did. Because that's a form of bullying as well.
No. Hold on, no. Yung Bans and Smokepurpp, I think that's what we gotta get.
Oh, that's his man. I don't know none of these niggas. No. They cool?
No. Yung Bans, he's been dissing Russ. So he's one of the
rappers.
Yeah, every time.
Where's he from?
Russ would tweet a picture. There's a picture of Russ in the studio, and he instantly asked him like, "It's probably trash. You a bitch." You know what I mean? Like, you gotta imagine. You just tweet out a picture like that. So now Russ is taking this in, and he told me, he's like, yo, I'm taking names.
See, that's why I don't understand this, because it's like when you look at like hip hop and beef, like. And of course, back in my day, no, motherfuckers was having shootouts and shit. Like, like there was shootouts at radio stations, all types of shit. Now we at a point where people could just call you a bitch and invite you to their dick and all this other crazy stuff. It's insane. Like, that's insane. Like, for real, that's why I go home at night, because I don't want to deal with none of this shit.
Let me ask you that question, or you.
What?
You think part of the reason why people pick on Russ as much is because not only would they not expect this to ever happen, because he's white.
I don't think it's because he's white. Listen, it goes back to the same way what I said about with Bow Wow. Bow Wow was 6'5", people wouldn't talk to him like that. It's his appearance.
Do you guys have a new level of respect for Russ right now? Are you looking at him different?
No, I don't.
Or does this change nothing?
This doesn't change anything for me because, like, for me, when he was here and we got a chance to talk, and then off scenes when we got chances to talk, I respect him as a man for what he's trying to do musically and his career and his craft. I don't give no man more respect for what they do, because ultimately this is a negative situation.
Right.
Like, this is nothing positive comes from this, because if somebody gets shot behind this shit, then you're gonna be like, damn, they should have never put their hands on it, right? So this doesn't breed anything good. I don't respect him more. It doesn't change anything for me.
Okay.
With regard to him. I respect him for what he does, not for this.
Yeah.
For me, what this does is, for fans, it probably breaks down this little smoke and mirror and industry, which is all built on facades. You kind of get like, oh shit, so you mean that's what's going on? Because again, this happened and no one knew. Other incidents like this happened, no one knew.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, some of the shit I heard at festivals, the festival is a rundown spot.
Yeah.
You at the festival and you don't got enough people, there's a problem. But for fans who probably think this guy's a pushover, yo, again, everybody has a breaking point.
Man, get in the gym. Y'all motherfuckers better start learning how to fight, because Smokepurpp said, I fought all 7 people. It did not look like that. Like,
there's no fair fight. Then the thing is,
no, also, that's just not, you shouldn't be trying to fight. Yo, listen, if you about to get jumped, run. I don't give a fuck what nobody say about, yo, man, I'm standing my ground. No, run, because if you get your teeth kicked down your throat and you got to go get surgery to get new teeth,
I think they're probably worried about how they're going to look if they're caught running on the internet.
Listen,
because the internet's always watching.
Listen.
Do you?
Because ultimately, like I said, I told you before, I got jumped by like 15 people before.
Did you run?
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying. So
no, but that's because I was a dumbass teenager. Thinking now, I should have ran. I got my ass beat. It's nothing cool about getting the shit beat out of you just to say you hit one person. At least I fought one of them. No. Get the fuck up out of there.
You don't want anyone to get seriously hurt here, right? So hopefully this doesn't escalate. We're laughing, but like seriously.
I give you one better. If you about to get into a fight with a dude that you know take MMA, you gonna stand there and fight him, or you gonna run?
That's a different situation. Be out.
Hey, listen, you gonna fight 10 people?
Hey, listen, man, and I do want to defend Purpp with the like, did he fight back shit? But I hope he takes some advice from how Safari handled that shit. Safari was in that situation.
Why you gotta bring Safari into this shit?
Because he's a nigga with a little bit of experience, and he handled it okay, and his shirt was still white afterwards, okay? Was not Safari's shirt still white.
I can't stand you.
Smokepurpp had a black eye, and he didn't perform. Safari looked like he could have went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner afterwards, okay?
Yeah, he go.
Now, being honest though, watching that video, I see a lot of people trying to critique, which is so hard to critique a nigga when 7 dudes are hitting him.
Yeah.
I mean,
It looked like he probably didn't swing back because he had his chain on and he was trying to hold that.
What? Fuck that.
Somebody snatch your chain, they snatch your career, bro. You know that.
Nah, man, this
That's the rap on written rules.
But no, you know what? Let's start from conception of this whole thing. Watch your mouth.
All right.
That's it.
That's a good note to end on. So real quick, Russ's album is also out, right? Just remember that. Zoo, it's doing well. Projected to sell, what, 85K first week? It's pretty good.
I'm going to check it out.
He's putting up some numbers, too.
Yeah, that's an improvement from his last album, which did like around 60-something first week. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check Russ shit out.
All right, man. Shout out to you guys.
Not because he's running down.
Yeah, no. Everybody stay out of trouble. Stop trolling.
Right.
Russ a nice guy, too. What's up with these guys, man?
Listen, I told y'all the other day, we in some weird times, man. We in some really rocky times.
Celebrity boxing, man. I agree with Purpp with that. Listen, I'm so anti-gun violence that sometimes, these things could escalate to that point.
Right.
Listen, I don't even want niggas even be fist fighting like that, but if that's the way y'all could get over whatever issues, man, y'all lace them up and get it done for charity.
It hasn't been done.
It's going to be video game battles instead.
This shit is not going to happen. You want to know why? Because everybody's going to complain about he's getting that money, I should get this. They're going to start comparing themselves to boxers.
Of course.
Then they're not going to fight. And if they do fight, none of these motherfuckers smoke and drink all day. They're not lasting one round. Like, let's be for real.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. All right.
One could only hope.
Yesterday, we checked out part 1 of Eminem's interview with Sway, so they dropped part 2. So in it, he addresses his issues with Joe Budden and Slaughterhouse, and also a little bit more about Machine Gun Kelly. Let's take a look.
Flying around to different places and doing interviews and trying to use my platform to pump up Slaughterhouse every chance I get, and you're using your platform to fucking trash me. And I'm one of the things that keeps this ship moving. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're doing something, you got a voice in hip hop, so you actually could be affecting this ship a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't owe me nothing. But I've never got in a fucking interview and been like, Joe Budden shit is fucking trash. First he said, first when he said, I'm the greatest rapper alive since my favorite rapper banned me from Shade 45 or whatever he said, right? Like I'm trying to hinder his career, so I don't give a fuck about your career. You think I actually fucking think about you? You know how many fucking rappers that are better than you? You're not even in the fucking conversation.
All right, so you guys remember when Revival dropped, Joe didn't have nice things to say about the album, but a lot of people didn't. But this got personal, of course, because he was signed with Shady, he's in Slaughterhouse. So here's him finally saying, I just felt like you took the disrespect too far. What do you guys think?
Well, personally, I watched a few of the content that Joe produced around this whole like controversy, especially recently. And he did a pull-up episode with another Slaughterhouse member, which I believe was Crooked, right? And in that conversation, it felt like there was a lot of disagreements and also feelings still being harbored about the whole Slaughterhouse situation. But I heard Joe mention money. And mentioned, and he said, yo, listen, I never made any money from, like, I lost money with Slaughterhouse. So clearly there's a little bit of disagreement on how things went down even on a business level. As far as critique, and for me, back to the day when we had the episode with Joe critiquing Revival, even to this day, I stand by, it was a proud moment of him, because I felt like, you see, when you're on the side of being an artist and you're friends with all these guys, it's really hard to be objective. Not that Joe go a little extra, he put a little sauce on it, because he was trying to be entertaining, of course. Right. Yeah, I felt like he did, but do I think he was honest about how he really felt? Yeah. What Em is saying that, yo, you shouldn't say that because of all I've done for you, or I don't know if I could agree with that. I can't agree with that. Like, it was bad.
This is one of those, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all kind of situations, which is hard when you're a media personality. Yeah,
somewhat. I mean, I feel like, see, that's the problem, right? So people know Joe as an artist, right? And whenever he says something that he feels about music, it's looked at like, you only saying that because you didn't do it. Like, people, I think a lot of people feel like that because a lot of people don't know his career outside of his hit record, and he had a really good rap career. And I think that it was some feeling that he put into that, though. Like, I think that there was some feeling that he put into that because there was a lot of bad business, you know, amongst the group, their confusion, getting the lines blurred with what Eminem's involvement actually was as to what they expected him to do. So I think with him saying this now, it's just like, now he gets his opportunity to talk. But this whole interview seems a bit like contrived to me, a bit. I would have respected it more if it was more Sway's platform, where it's just like genuine, not saying that it's ingenuine, but it's so put together.
Yeah, it's Eminem.
Yeah, it's so.
I hear Eminem don't leave Detroit, so.
Right, he's a superstar. It's like you're never gonna have like a super chill, like laid back.
Shit, didn't Chris Brown have some interview where he invited like a bunch of journalists, including you, to his mansion?
Yes, and let me tell you how that went. Hey, come over, talk about anything, fly halfway across the country for one day. Just kidding, you can't ask any questions that you want to ask.
So I could imagine here, Sway had to submit questions like, what can I ask? How could I ask it? And M's team, or maybe that's just Paul, just reviews him and says, you ain't asking it like this. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, but
ask it like this.
They also have like a long history. So we want to speculate about how that went down. Right. Let's just stay focused here on what the information we actually got. All right, so maybe this is the end of the Joe versus Eminem saga. I don't know if there's anything more to say about this.
I don't think that's the end at all, because there's some huge discrepancies when I'm hearing from both sides. I heard Joe say on this podcast that he felt that Eminem, because he's so big and he was such a megastar, he couldn't support the group with either interviews or tweets or even doing songs whenever they felt like it could be beneficial for the group. Clearly he's saying, yo, I use my platform to try to build y'all up, and you finally get a platform, you shit on me. You get me? And also, there is a running narrative among a lot of Joe's peers that says Joe's Joe first. So if that speaks to what M seems to be alluding to as well. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna stick by Joe with the criticism of the album because I had kind of the same. I just didn't go as hard.
Yeah, I didn't think.
And I never received a check from Shady, so.
Yeah. I didn't think much of the album either, but I like I said before, I think at that time especially people was taking it in new from Joe because he was just coming off of being a rapper and turning into a media person. Yeah. So everything is looking like, oh, he's just hating on people when he's just trying to give his opinion, not taking himself outside of being a rapper. You know?
Well, also, you're more developed than Joe. Joe came in very unpolished. Even me, too. Instead of, when we heard something we didn't like, instead of saying, it's not for me, trash, like that was an instant thing.
And you have to understand how if you're a person who had signed him and worked with him, it feels disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you call like, I said the Kids See Ghosts album was trash. I didn't like it.
But you were never signed to Kanye.
No, I wasn't.
You might have not said that.
You would definitely not say the Carter's album is trash or anything Jay produced.
I didn't think it was trash though, but I don't think.
If you did, wouldn't you have a little bit?
Or would you say it's not for me?
Wait a second. We was very honest about that Top Off the Maybach record, wasn't we? We was all honest about that, saying that wasn't it.
Joint.
What's a Khaled joint? It's somebody else's song. Like you act like Khaled is writing the lyrics.
No. But we didn't like directly critique Jay.
I'm gonna keep it 100. It's hard to catch something whack that either Jay-Z or Beyonce does. Now, the Carters, is that shit as good as every song they've ever done together? No, but it wasn't a bad album.
Overall, so you are willing to air it out as well. Even if it's somebody.
Yeah, I wish I had a better. If you were signed to Pusha T and Pusha put out Daytona and you hated the album, would you sit here and be like, "That was absolute garbage. He's trash," or would you be like, "You know what? This album's not for me."
And
I guess
also,
me and him would probably have a conversation way before we have it here, but it would be it's gonna be honesty there. That's the thing. A lot of people are gonna be biased in certain cases based on who they have relationships with. We said that before. If you my man and you're getting into a battle or a spat or something, I want you to win. That's just how it goes, right? Now, even when we went to the Pusha called me and asked me what I thought about Duppy Freestyle, and I said I think it's good. I didn't lie to him. I was like, yo, I think it's actually good. Now, everybody thinks that I just don't like Drake and I didn't fuck with anything he had to say because Pusha's my man, but I was honest with him. So the thing is that I'm not gonna be disrespectful.
That's the thing, and I think again, it's not like taking sides, just playing devil's advocate here. If you want to understand where M's coming from, I'm sure if Joe was just like, look, I really don't like this album, it's not for me, he might have felt different than hearing it's trash.
You know what though? There's also a fine line because again, M didn't say all these things directly because this shit is so chopped up.
Yeah.
But this is the feeling I'm getting. I think he was also saying that me and Joe aren't close, but like if I did these things for you. And I would have treated it the same way, like, yo, you should talk to me, give me your opinion first. Maybe some of the questions, like, you know, Joe was like, yo, who the fuck approved this? Why this happened? Why this? All right, nigga, you signed to me. I'll give you some answers. Clarify why you seem so confused about the product that came out. Now, when you're talking about it on your show, which is a big platform, you're not just fucking laying it on me like I'm some nigga you've never worked with or been around.
But I also understand the fact that Eminem is not a person that you can just talk to. That's Jay-Z. You gotta talk to 9 people before you talk to him. You don't just call him. I'm pretty sure that as much work that Joe probably did with Eminem at that time, he couldn't just text him and be like, yo, could you hit me up? They
have mutual friends. Like him and Royce are very tight, and Royce clearly has a great relationship
I think that opinion should have been even vocalized through mutual friends. That it felt like they felt blindsided. I'm not gonna lie, listen, and me and homie don't even have no relationship like that. Really just a professional, like, hey, we could ask questions, or I could ask questions, or whatever, he could give information. Like Drake. I laid it on him in terms of, pause about it, extra pause. in terms of songs I didn't like, you know, I'm upset it's pretty garbage to me, and I told him that directly, that there's nothing fake about me and him. Like, I'm not the guy like, oh yeah, while I'm saying your shit is trash, I'm just glad that we're having that conversation. I told him, I said, these songs I don't like at all. This is what I like. And I even told him, I said, the R&B songs, I would have rather them like this. That's my critique. He took it okay, which means he ain't surprised when I'm on this platform or anywhere else not fucking dick riding his songs because me and him are cool.
Well,
you get me?
So look, even to you, because remember, I know we jumping all over the place, but when I'm Upset came out, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm Upset is trash. I just think it came at the wrong time. Like he dropped Duppy Freestyle on Friday. He dropped I'm Upset on Saturday. When I seen the title, I'm Upset, I'm like, oh shit, he went back in on Pusha.
Yeah.
That's what everybody thought. So I think we just received it a certain way because when you listen to it now, it's not a song that you be like, oh man, they put this fucking song on. It's not that it's a bad song. I just think that the timing was absolutely wrong for it because we was just expecting a certain type of content from him.
Sure.
Yeah, it's once you get in this seat and you start critiquing people and giving your analysis, a lot of times your friendships and relationships that you've built up becomes a little iffy when you gotta really vocalize because people see through you if you're just gonna fake it. Remember the first we talked about Eminem 8 times before that one clip, and Joe used to be like, she just kind of used to pass like, I'm signed to the guy, and then it got to a breaking point. And I'll let you go, but just to mention MGK in that, damn. If you feel like that by MGK, man, it don't sound like he even thinks MGK is worthy of a response, even though I think different. But he was just saying, this nigga is barely nice at all. I like how he cleared up the fact that I wasn't blackballing your career, even though you could say if you're not allowing him to go to your radio station, which is kind of big, Sway is a huge outlet, and if he can't do that outlet, that is kind of holding back. But shit, he talked about your daughter. We talked about that family thing.
Yeah.
You talking about my daughter, you ain't coming to know where I'm at.
You can't eat on my block. You play with my kids, you can't eat on my block. I definitely respect that. But yeah, I think that the thing about giving criticism to artists and their work is they gotta be a little bit receptive too. That doesn't mean that I dislike you. Like, you know, we all had our feelings on Rolling Papers too, right? I actually spoke to Chevy Woods last week, and he was asking me, like, because we had a bit of a rapport. Like, we not best friends, but he's cool, and we've met each other before. I met Wiz before too, and he asked me what I thought. I said, yo, I just really wasn't feeling the album like that. That doesn't mean that I hate Wiz Khalifa or I think, because that's the problem. When people say that they not feeling something, they think, oh, you don't fuck with me, you don't like me, and that's not the case.
But I think, again, it's also in the way that you express that opinion.
It's how you express
know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't think people understand enough that the way you say something matters a lot more than specifically just what you're saying.
Right.
You can cushion that blow. But look, I understand both sides in this situation. I do hope that Joe and M eventually can sort of have a conversation and work this out. Like,
I don't think that'll happen.
I mean, not
I don't
anytime
think
soon.
Em even cares to.
Yeah, but it's just like this going on back and forth for how long? Like, nothing good is going to come out of this.
And by the way, what I said yesterday, because they're releasing clips and parts, what I said yesterday about him, I wanted him to just admit that this album was really him answering the critics. He did on this part. He said, I wanted to show people with Kamikaze that, hey, listen, you guys get to critique me all day, and I have to sit home and just take it.
Yeah.
How about me critiquing you guys? And that's fair, too.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that perspective.
I love when the artist talks back as well.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Kamikaze is a good album overall.
Yeah, I like it.
Shout out to M. All right, what do we got next? Carter 5. Guys, seems like this is actually happening. So the official Young Money Twitter account tweeted this week, put them 5s up. So we have some cover art. This might really be happening this year. I don't think we thought it was actually going to come out. At this point, the expectations for this will be super high. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't want it to end up being like an Eminem situation where he drops and feels like people are going to be super
on his
critical.
Birthday or something, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
You excited for this project?
I don't know how to feel. Like, seriously, I don't know how to feel because I've been waiting so long, like, for, not that Lil Wayne hasn't been dropping shit, but I've been waiting for Lil Wayne to be in Lil Wayne mode and put something out. And, I mean, he doesn't do a lot of interviews, but to have, like, content rolled out, videos and all of that. But we've waited so long. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I want to hear it, but do I? That's how I feel now.
We said it's coming this month soon?
That's what I heard. We're not
so
getting
then there's not going to be a big rollout
confirmation.
plan then.
But, again, we just got the proof that sometimes that big rollout gives people too much time to think. And niggas might just hate.
Right.
You drop the shit, of course you gotta make sure it's good when you drop it, and maybe it just goes. I'm excited for it. The news that it's finally getting a release date, I seen get a lot of people excited because you forget how many people Wayne touched and how many people grew up on Wayne.
Yeah.
My big concerns, music is not dated. We've heard that there's been like 3-4 iterations of this. One of them got leaked to that little scum, what's his name, Martin Shkreli, and that was a couple years ago. So we're hoping that we're not hearing an album that was recorded in 2013, right? We want a little updated album. Of course, I wanted to do dope features, but I kind of want this album to not just be, oh, this is an album I couldn't release, but I kind of want to hear about the trials and tribulation of him going through the whole thing with Birdman. Not necessarily all through the album, but I want these things addressed.
Right.
Why haven't we gotten Wayne in, 7 years? I hope that would be addressed on the album.
It's been 7 years since Carter 4?
I think that was in 2011.
Damn, for real?
2011, yeah.
Wow, I didn't even peep that.
Unless somebody can fact check.
Because, you know, the thing is that, no, it's confirmed it's 2011, but the thing is that because we still got sprinkles of Wayne here and there of his music, it never feels like he's
Carter
gone.
3,
and we got more dedications.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, I just want to hear Wayne be Wayne. Like, I want to hear Wayne rap. You know what I mean? I want to hear him rap. I don't want to hear dated Wayne, but I don't want to hear, like, I really don't want to hear Wayne with, like, everybody new today. Like, I just want to hear, like, where his perspective is, where he's at being him. You know, like, his daughter's dating now. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole different time. We watched this man's entire career. So I just want to know where he's at with it now.
And also, I'm very excited for him to get back on that circuit of being a artist, dropping albums and doing huge tours. You know, for a while, like, you see people underestimate that cycle you get into where you drop an album, you go on this big tour. Like, Wayne's been doing, like, clubs and stuff like that. It's not that he can't sell out big venues, but, like, there was no new music. So, like, yeah, you're going around collecting these bags, and Wayne is such a fucking legend. You get me? Of course, he pops out everybody's huge tour, but I want Wayne to do his own tour and
because you know that's one of those. It's like a J tour. You go and you just forget how many hits he has. That'd be such a legendary.
His show got to be at least an hour.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. He got so many records.
Straight hits, man. Straight hits. So I'm super excited for it. I really think that, you know, 6 months ago I thought this wouldn't do that well, but I actually think this might do close to 500,000. First week.
I don't know what the numbers would be, but like I said, like I don't know what to expect. That's the biggest thing. I really have no expectations. I just want to hear a good
I'm with
album.
you guys though. I do want to hear about what he's been up to, what he's been going through, feeling, because we don't get to see him a lot. As a fan, that would be really dope. All right, looking forward to Carter 5 finally coming sometime this month. Now, quickly, Young Thug. So look, we have been also waiting for a super official album and the big world tour. We keep talking about that push. So he dropped the project recently. We felt like he had momentum, but he was arrested this week for 5 felony drug charges, outstanding from a 2017 arrest for drug and gun possession. Do you guys feel like this is going to slow him down again? We just want him to sort of hit his stride and like stay focused.
Absolutely. I mean, if he doesn't, you know, bail out or anything, I don't know. Like, I don't know what his charges. I mean, we know what his charges are, but I don't know, you know, if they're gonna hold him, etc. But it does hold him back. I mean, it's unfortunate that a lot of our favorite artists get held back by the streets. You know, because when you look at it, it's all street shit. You know, it's all street shit, and we all know where Thug comes from. Yeah. Hopefully, he can get past this, and we could really get, you know, who we want him to become. But it's definitely gonna hold him back.
Hopefully, he gets bail, but bail might be an issue because he's already on probation for some other stuff. And again, I really don't know his situation or how he's moving, but I would have really thought he would have changed up a lot of things, especially given that one situation where he was locked up for a while. And it's sad that this happened. He also got locked up on the day Slime Language got released. Right. So it's one of those things. I think 300 has been having a hard time with him in terms of trying to market and promote his music. And now that he's not here, now that he does interviews or is that visible at all, I want to see how they treat that album if it's going to be dropped without him.
Right.
You get me?
Because his engineer, so Alex Toomey, tweeted that he was working on music before he got locked up, right? He said he turned in mixes before he turned himself in, so I can make sure he was happy with it. Clearances take time. So we know that they are focused on putting out more music, so hopefully. And
without them directly saying that this feels like this is a Young Thug, just call it project, because we don't know if what he puts out is a mixtape or album. It's all one anyway. But hopefully this ain't no compilation, because we really need that Thug solo joint.
Because he just gave us the compilation with the Slime Language, right? I mean, I think a lot of these artists just got to learn from their predecessors. Like, you know, when you look at, and everybody, of course, can't be like a Hove, but Hove caught a gun charge, you know what I mean, at one point in time. He caught an assault charge at one point in time. But after that, it was like, all right, let me stay away from all of this shit and just focus on my career. And you see what that got him. And I know it's probably tough being where these guys are at, but y'all gotta like gain some discipline. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta gain some discipline or change your ways. And I know it's tough. You know what I mean? It's very tough, but we all lose. Like, nobody wins in this.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
if you're there's no money in jail. I mean, it is, but that's a whole nother conversation.
We don't make that money.
Right, we don't make that money, but you know, what are you worth to your fans and even to your family? You know, so hopefully he could get through this and bounce back. But I hope we're not saying this again.
Yeah.
You know.
Hopefully this is the last time. Maybe he gets on his Kodak, comes back, changed man.
Yeah,
Things
like,
are all looking good, you know?
Like Kodak, like, you know what I mean? Like, how far would Kodak be right now if in the past 2 years after he was on the XXL freshman, blew up and all that, he didn't go to jail as many times and did these little stint biz where it's 3 months and then come home for 3 and then 4 months and then come home and then 5 months. And, you know, we're not really getting a chance to know him. We know a little bit of the music, but not them as an artist, so.
I agree.
All right. Good luck to Thugger. So let's take a little trip down memory lane. So this week, 9 years ago, Kanye very famously interrupted Taylor Swift at the 2009 VMAs. Just curious, how do you guys think 2009 year is looking compared to 2018 year? So what else was he up to? Like in 2009, he also launched the first Yeezys with Nike. That was really big for him. Right. He had like the Louis Vuitton campaign with that very famous photo of Amber Rose resting her
Yeezys
head in his
Louis
lap. Yeah, he had it was a crazy year for him. He dropped Dark Fantasy the following year. Where do you guys think you compare?
I think it's the same exact person. I think that was when we get the evolution of Ye. Ye, the person who made those first 2 albums, Late Registration, College Dropout, clearly that he's always been an egotistical, like he says it on Even How All Falls Down, like he's one of them niggas. But you could tell that it was to the point that he was looking at everybody in the industry like y'all should all just bow at my feet. And if I feel something, y'all should feel it too. Taylor, get the fuck out of here. Beyonce, this is your award. And that was around the time with him and Amber. And he started doing certain things, at least on an industry's perspective, that you could tell that he felt he was above niggas. And the person who I see these days, even though he just apologized, but the person who I've been seeing, he feels like he's above all y'all niggas.
Well, I mean, I think it was not tough time, but that was more recent to his mom passing.
Right.
Around that time. That was more recent to his mom passing. He wasn't a father at that time either. He looked like he was honestly, his way he speaks now is a little bit crazier than how he looked and his actions at that time. Because he was on red carpets drinking Henny and shit.
That was the Henny version. This is the pills version.
Yeah, right. Wow.
I don't know if he's on pills, but it feels like some pill shit.
Yo, when I worked at Rockefeller, he didn't do anything. He didn't smoke, drink, pills, nothing. He didn't.
Wait, didn't he admit that he was addicted to some shit because he got lipo and all that bullshit? Like, I think he had said he got hooked on some dumb shit.
Recently?
Yeah. What was it?
Okay.
Yeah, opioid, whatever that is.
Opioid, yeah, that's pills.
Okay, pills. Yeah, that nigga was
pills.
on pills now. So he went from Henny, yay, to pills.
Well, I mean, at that time, he made some of his best work, but he's changed a lot. You know, he's changed a lot. It's crazy that that's 9 years ago. Yeah. Wow.
Not gonna lie, he seemed way more into music back then, in perfecting music. These days, I feel like he does music, and I felt that since Yeezus, he does music just to get his fashion shit.
But hey, so the big Yeezys came out that year. So of course that was the beginning of the whole fashion takeover. You know what I mean? That was the very, very beginning of it.
He dropped with Nike and dropped 3 sneakers with Louis. Yeah, that was the first.
Yeah, and think about all the stuff that's happened. He's been beefing with Nike. He switched to Adidas. He's back and forth. He's done a lot in the fashion realm in that time, we can say.
That's when he stopped waving the flag for George Bush don't care about black people. The 2 Louis Vuitton don't care about niggas, or whoever else in Paris don't care about niggas.
Yeah.
Or care about him, actually. Not niggas.
Care about him.
Him.
Well,
they won't let him into the fashion house, according to him.
Yeah, well.
Whatever that
Well, I
is.
look forward to having this conversation about him in a decade.
Right.
Never going to be a dull moment. The Kanye autobiography is going to be so crazy one day. Can't wait for that.
He's one of the top artists ever.
I just hope, and you know what I mean, I hope he's here with us. I hope we're not like watching it when some.
Don't even say that out loud. Take that back. We don't even want to hear that. So the 2018 BET Hip Hop Awards are coming up in October, and the nominations have been announced. No surprises here. Drake is leading with 11 nominations, Cardi B with 10, Gambino with 6, Travis Scott and Kendrick tied for 5. So you got a couple categories here. If you gentlemen would indulge me and make some picks, I think we should start with Album of the Year. So contenders are Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy, Drake, Scorpion, J. Cole, KOD, Migos, Culture 2, and the Carters, Everything is Love. Who wants to go first?
I'm going left field with this whole shit. This is the BT Hip Hop Awards. This is like Source Awards 2.0. I'm picking all the ghetto shit. Migos winning this shit. For real. Like,
that's fair.
Everybody else not even showing up.
Yeah.
Who the hell is showing up to the BT Hip Hop Awards?
There's some. If this is the Hip Hop Awards, why don't we have Nipsey Hussle in here? Why isn't Pusha T in here? Why isn't J-Rock in here for hip hop?
Preach, Wayno.
No, seriously. Why? We talking hip hop. Now, album of the year is a different conversation when we talking about Grammys or MTV and all of that.
Well, they got Travis Scott in the Lyricist of the Year category.
Exactly. So. That's another thing that I'm a little bit concerned with because.
So you're saying none of these would be your picks for album of the year?
Let me see. Invasion, Scorpion, KOD. I mean, KOD is in there, but other than that, no.
All right, and you predict Migos is gonna get this?
Yeah, I'm predicting the culture to win this one. And really, it's because I feel like all these awards show they fit on a spectrum of recognizing certain aspects of hip hop. And also, I look at who's gonna go there. Like, this shit's always in Atlanta. You feel me? This is like the Atlanta Awards, right?
Right, but
even though I think all these albums are great. Cardi B delivered a great album. Scorpion was great. Side A at least, very good. J. Cole, KOD, phenomenal. And Culture 2 was even though I thought it was kind of aight, but it was a coming of age album for them. It did the numbers and they're doing the rounds. Yeah. And sometimes that's the one that gets awarded when they miss the last one. You get me?
Yeah. I ain't gonna front like the Migos. The Migos are kind of like the most impactful. Like they're very impactful, right?
All right, how about this? Let's do Best New Artist and then, come on, Wayno.
Because I'm mad that Gunna's not in there.
Okay,
I'm
fair
mad
enough.
that, no, seriously, because I'm not taking nothing. I understand, like, I feel like the XXX thing is just like a tip of the hat to him. But at the same time, like, X, he's been out for a while. It's BT hip-hop has just caught on to him.
Okay.
You feel me?
So XXX Tentacion, Rich the Kid, Lil Baby, Juice WRLD, and Black Boy JB.
Why isn't Gunna in here? That's what I'm saying. It's like, why is Gunna not? Because Lil Baby, if Lil Baby's in there, Gunna should be in there too.
Okay.
But I feel like if I had to pick somebody, damn, that's kind of tough because it's between, for me, it's between Juice WRLD and Lil Baby. I'm
going Lil Baby. MVP of the year, I feel like Batman and Robin is Lil Baby and Gunna. I'm going to agree with you on the X thing. X is one of the highest selling artists in hip hop, and he had 2 successful albums back to back. I don't know why we still consider him a rookie, but of course he passed away. I feel like since they didn't want to throw him in some of these other categories, like I would throw him in the MVP category as a nomination. Not say he would win, but I would throw him in there. But best new hip hop artist, nah.
Can we go to Lyricist of the year?
Lil Baby, I'm rocking with Lil Baby.
All right, so Lil Baby was your pick. You said Lil Baby or just
and Rich the Kid is not new, right? Rich the Kid been around.
But yeah, I think the hat is gonna tip towards Lil Baby, only because I feel like he's accomplished so much and like I said before, I think that he's been rapping for a long time. He just took it serious over the last year and a half. So I can see him winning that, but Juice WRLD has been pretty impactful as well. Yeah,
right,
let's
so
go to
Lyricist of the year.
Lyricist of the year.
We got Childish Gambino, Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, and Travis Scott.
All right, why is Childish Gambino in there, and why is Travis Scott in there? Like, come on, yo. Like, seriously. No, on some real shit. Why is... And I love Childish Gambino as a creative and all of that. But
if this was the Grammys that did this, we would be killing it.
Yo, yeah,
never expected me.
No, this is crazy. Like, I'm gonna keep it. And Travis Scott got one of the best albums, and I feel like on Coffee Bean, he has great bars.
He's
on
great,
Coffee
but we know
Bean.
we're not looking at Travis.
But come on, yo. Like, that's what I'm saying. This is why people be saying fuck the awards, because why is Nipsey Hussle not in here? Why is Pusha T not in here? And why is, again, J-Rock not in there?
Yeah, you know what?
It's only 5, right? 1, 2, 3,
for the
4,
BET Hip Hop Awards, and these are like specific critiques I have to that awards show, because I understand, I do think it's trying to highlight some of the culture some parts of the culture that other award shows don't do, but you got to really highlight it. Lyricist of the year, you don't have to throw Drake and Cole in every category. Really find the lyricists within the culture. Yeah. This is Hip Hop Awards.
So who would you guys throw in there?
Because what are they basing that on? They basing that on This Is America? Like, are we sitting in the back reciting like, yo, did you hear what he said on this? It was more impactful for the video than it was what he was saying, a lot of the bars.
That's true, and he is nominated for Best Hip Hop Video, so that could have been his category.
Absolutely, he should be nominated for that, but we talking about lyricism.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Cole and Kendrick is cool to be on there. I guess it's fine if you put Drake on there, I guess. But other than that, y'all gotta highlight some lyricists, man. Like, the hell? What we doing?
Everyday Struggle Awards.
Because if we base, because if we basing it off of lyricism and one thing, because I feel like, okay.
If the lyrical niggas can't even win a lyricist award, what the fuck are they gonna do?
Because if we're talking about lyricism, and I feel like he's getting that nod based on This Is America, right? Then why isn't Meek Mill in there for making Stay Woke? Seriously, because Stay Woke was a lyrical song and it had content and it meant something. And was that the other BET Awards where he did the performance? Where they had like the shit with them in jail and all that? That was the BET Awards,
so, yeah.
right? That was the other BET Awards.
Yeah, the regular BET Awards.
Exactly. So it's like, how isn't Meek Mill in here? This is why people start saying, oh, now Travis Scott is a great artist, but they start comparing, they start blurring the lines because like you said, when a lyricist can't win Lyricist of the Year, I'm pretty sure if you had a conversation with Travis Scott, he'd be like, yo, I think I do my thing, but you gotta give, you gotta tip your hat to some of these dudes out here for that award.
Hey, this is why I thought the award show made up some of these categories. No other award show has a Lyricist of the Year. But it defeats the purpose if you're not awarded the Lyricist of the Year.
One more question I have too is, okay, because I know a lot of this shit is based on timing. Wait, one second.
Okay.
I know a lot of this shit is based on timing, right?
Okay.
So if we're talking about, if Travis Scott could get nominated for Lyricist of the Year, why is he not nominated for Album of the Year if he didn't drop an album in 2 years?
And by the way, like, I feel like the categories are really meant to like highlight so many different facets. I was saying, Lyricist of the Year, you got to put a lyricist because you have the Hustler of the Years. That's where I want to see the Meeks and everybody else pop up. You have categories which the culture clearly could understand, be like, these are the lyrical niggas, these are the hustlers, street niggas, whatever. We have categories for all of them. You got to properly place them to really celebrate everybody, which makes the entire culture. I don't understand. Just don't throw Drake ain't coming.
No, we feel that.
If I see Drake at the BET Hip Hop Awards this year,
You're going next year.
hell no.
But
This
wait,
is the nigga shit.
all right, one more before we go then. Are you cool with the picks for MVP of the year? Cardi, Gambino, Drake, Cole, and Travis.
I'm
MVP
rooting for Cardi to have a win, and hopefully it's this category.
Okay. MVP of the year, Cardi B.
I know people like this is kind of shocking for me, but if I got to pick from this pool, I probably got to go with Drake. I can't lie, but I probably got to go with Drake.
The reason why I'm saying Cardi, I believe if we're going MVP, I'm looking even beyond a little bit music, anything that music influenced, and I feel like Cardi was just killing them, even with the pregnancy. Just killing on all ends, and shit, I got to give her the MVP. Last year I would have said Rookie of the Year. This year I said MVP.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why if Travis Scott is nominated for MVP and Lyricist, how is he not nominated for Album of the Year? Like, I would honestly take the Carters out of there and put Travis Scott.
What's all political game? You know how that goes.
I guess, man.
All right, guys, stay tuned for the first annual Everyday Struggle Awards.
We will
Seems
be
like we really got to get this one off.
No, we doing that shit. I'm dead serious.
Wayno's been hitting the gym. He wants to look good for awards season. Academics, you got to get our shit together.
Academics been in the gym too.
Don't be telling him that. I'm shaped like a tug jug. What's wrong with you? Yeah. Listen, I just want to come back transformation type of shit. You know what I mean? Be like, yeah,
Academics gonna walk in here wild brother.
Yo, because when y'all start announcing it, it's like the Khaled effect. Like, nigga, how long you been? Khaled been on Snapchat. Like, this nigga on Snapchat for a whole 3 years.
Right.
He's getting fatter. This is crazy. You know what I mean? No, don't put that pressure on me, man. I walk by the gym now, okay? I'll start going in soon.
All right, so real quick, Forbes released the 2018 Hip Hop Cash Kings list. Any surprises for you guys on here? Of course, Jay, number 1. Diddy, Kendrick. Kendrick is looking good. Up 3, he made more money than Drake last year. Cole, Dre, rounding out the bottom.
Russ was my
at 20, 15 million. Meek Mill, Russ, and Swizz Beatz.
I didn't know Russ was getting money like that.
Now we know. Now we know he's paying for security.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't many surprises for me on this list. I guess it was just a reinforcement that the niggas on Instagram, they're never on this list.
Right. The niggas
Uzi's on here. Uzi's on here at 19.5.
I was about to say, it's not a lot of money for it's not a lot of money for rappers on here other than my man Future, because Future always kills. But Pitbull, man. Can we clap it up one time for my man Pitbull?
I haven't heard a Pitbull song since
NBA Finals every year.
I haven't heard a song from that nigga in a minute.
Guess what? The NFL season has started.
That shit ain't just be clapping with. Like,
right. It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
Oh my God, man. Hold on, I'm just glad Fluoride ain't on this list. I hope he made money.
Yo, why isn't Fluoride on this list? That's
Well,
what
not rap. Is he Fluoride ducking the feds, man? Don't want nobody know what he did.
He's got tracks in every commercial.
And by the way, salute to these guys, because however you make money in music, I respect. All I'm gonna just say, man, you know what we looking for when we talk about hip hop. Come on.
But now look,
don't throw these niggas.
But
on
this
the
is
list
what I'm saying. Look, everybody that be dissing, oh man, lyricism and look at this,
the
right?
lyricist getting paid.
Jay, Kendrick, gotta throw Drake in lyricist too. Cole, Nas.
What's up?
No, hold on.
What?
Time out.
What?
Time out. I'll make a better point that will sum up all the shit you're saying.
What?
Because you just throwing lyricists. Most of these niggas is moguls. The niggas really making the money.
But they rap.
They didn't make it all rap.
I know, but I'm
it's
saying
ancillary shit.
But it is ancillary shit. But you have to be really good at rap.
He probably made $10 million off music. The rest of the shit coming from just him being
but guess what?
Jay.
Where's the house that built it is the rap.
The foundation is lyricism.
Diddy selling liquor, water, and
Diddy
TV stations.
Diddy don't drop no music. He's in this shit every
Honestly,
year.
Single time.
Kendrick is probably the guy who made the most just purely off music. And then Cole. You know, Drake has other shit.
But Cole, Kendrick with that tour, man. That
but still
You're counting that, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I would like to see the breakdown. Forbes does it at a time too, where they break down the income and shows how much is made off music, publishing, touring, other income streams. Because sometimes, you know what I mean, there's a brainwashing of fans to think that you get a bunch of streams or
and then you
get
all
a
the money in
plaque,
the world,
you got all the money, or you get some diamonds, you finally use your advance check to go to the jeweler,
right.
and you got all the money, not realizing that sometimes it's investments,
right.
sometimes it's doing things behind the scenes, sometimes it's signing that hot new nigga who's gonna make the money for you.
This economical act.
Yo, Act loves
Nigga, I want to be rich.
talk.
I want to be on one of these lists. You feel me?
Right.
So,
Hey, listen, we need to be on this damn list.
Trust.
I respect everybody on there. And by the way, salute to my man Kanye, who was crying broke last year, but this year made 30 million. My guy.
You know that's rich people broke.
Yeah.
It's different. That
It's
shit is
broke
different.
and not broke.
Yeah, that's not the same kind of broke.
If he was 30 million the whole last year, and he made 20 last year and 30 this year, how much is he spending?
Listen, man. This is not a direct reflection of everything, too. Trust that.
All right, so look, I want to get to a fan question before we go. So real quick, just a couple anniversaries. We lost Tupac 22 years ago this week. Just want to say rest in peace to the legend. Never forgotten. And also Ready to Die is 24 years old.
Wow.
An album that's just aged amazing. Yo, I heard.
Oh, I was in the 7th grade.
They were playing Biggie and Ozark the other day. I can't remember
Yeah,
if it was
I
a
seen
track
that, yeah.
from this. I was so
Story to
confused by
Tell.
that. Yeah. Nothing else to say but shout out. It's amazing.
Right.
Project is still.
Two legends.
The question we got.
Yeah, two legends who laid the foundation and who were pioneers for everything we have today. I don't care if niggas ever heard of him or not.
Right.
Love those guys.
Live
Tupac
forever.
and Biggie, man, for real, made us all want to be a part of this.
And here we are.
Right.
All right, so our fan question today is about Fab from B and Disyon. I don't know if that's actually your name. Why is Fabolous not revered as an MC? I know he might not have a definitive classic project, but when it comes to rapping, not many people are better at all.
My question is where is he from? Because
Well,
Is it a East Coast, West Coast?
Nah, he's too New York to answer. I'm gonna throw a curveball at you, and I'm gonna let you take it away, because with this M project that came out, and even like say the Joe and M thing, I've seen a lot of people for the first time start questioning M by saying, yeah, he's good at rapping, but he ain't saying shit. Content rapping is a thing now. Do you believe that perhaps why Fab doesn't get more respect? And of course, in New York, he's beloved. And that's why I say you might be like, you're here,
Look at
so
his
you
face.
know.
Yeah, look at his face.
Fab been doing this shit forever.
let me see where you go.
But
with this.
Take a deep breath, Wayno.
maybe internationally and globally and just like throughout the world, he's not revered as much because maybe he isn't as much as a content rapper. What do you
Well, okay. That's a very good question.
I think he phrased that very well.
He phrased it very
He's
well.
respectful
he's
too, right?
a legend on
Yeah.
the East Coast.
Love you, Fab.
Yeah.
Don't smoke. I want no smoke. Don't
No,
do me like Rage.
So when it comes to Fab, and this is like, I think that at the time when Fab could have taken over, which is when like Jay kind of dropped out of the race saying he was going to retire and all of that, and then you had the whole reign of 50 and Lloyd Banks, and this is around when like Fab made Breathe. I always felt like personally Fab didn't grab the baton and really run with it. I felt like he was kind of cool where he was at. He wasn't trying to be the main guy and all of that. But as far as an MC, that's why I got to ask, because all of this music is about what's more relatable to you. And unfortunately, we talk about all of these different things in hip hop culture, especially when it comes from the street. I feel like we don't engage as much as we should. Like, I feel like the era of bootlegging and all of that shit kind of hit Fab because we would listen to his shit, but they wasn't going out and buying it the way they should as far as the streets. Now, when it comes to Fab Fab is one of the most respected MCs. You got to think, Royce the 5'9" is a highly respected MC. He put Fab on his album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't just happen. Fab is I think when it's all said and done, he goes down as one of the best MCs because he's been doing it. When you look up Fab, it's had a 20-year career.
Okay.
And he doesn't look old at all because he always stays current.
Still putting out good music. That's why I'm curious to your point where this person is.
Yeah, I want to know
when you
where
grew up in like Brooklyn. Of course, Fab is like a legend. So I wonder if it's different.
I feel outside New York. I've talked to people outside New York, and
a lot of people fuck with Fab.
No. While they
do they worship him like
Fab,
we do on the East Coast?
That New York worship is something else. Like they look at Fab like, yeah, aight.
But at the same time, I could say this, right? Like, I feel like in comparison to like certain people's careers, Fab like hasn't had like a T.I. career because T.I. has stepped out there more as an artist. Like he act like all of these different things go into how your music is received.
So it's more about front facing, not just about the music.
Because
other things.
if you listen to what Fab say, Fab don't give out no whack shit. You know what I mean? Like, he don't give out no whack shit. He's always stepped up whenever he's on a record with whomever.
Fetus killing her, I call it suicide.
I hated that line. Oh, I hated that line. I hated, but that line wasn't for me. Look, that line wasn't for if you get a woman,
97% hit ratio on punchlines, but once in a while I'm like,
yo, 97 is an amazing.
Yeah, right.
That's
nah.
97 is.
We love picking at your little flaws, man.
That's like Steph Curry accuracy.
You could be perfect on the gram, and if you have one of your eyes bigger than the other eye, we getting that. That's what it is. So
absolutely. But that's where shit is at now due to the internet. But in terms of Fab, I just think that it's all about what you engage in. We always talk about like what means something to you, the type of content that means something to you. Where I come from, Fab shit means something to everybody there. Unfortunately, motherfuckers ain't streaming it. They'd rather go to that Piff than go to Apple Music and stream the shit.
What's your favorite Fab project?
My favorite Fab project.
So the albums Ghetto Fabulous, Street Dreams, Real Talk, From Nothing to Something, Loso's Way, and the Young OG project.
Damn, yo.
And of course, there's hella mixtapes.
Full Fab project.
I'm listening.
I gotta be honest.
Because more recently, I like the first Summertime Shootouts. The first one, and a lot of his soul, like the soul tapes. I like more of the soul tapes.
Are amazing, yeah.
But Ghetto Fabulous is my favorite album from him.
Okay.
Ghetto Fabulous is my favorite album from him because when that album came out, I could really remember distinctively everything I was doing. A lot of those I got lost in translation.
What random ass job did you have when this album
I was working
dropped?
in the mailroom.
Okay, good.
I was
Is
Jet
gonna put out a joint?
Oh yeah, Fred Jet.
For the Freddie and Jason joint?
I don't know, but I'm not mad at it. It's just I'm not mad at it. I just feel like for the ones that want to fight for Fabs and Jadas, y'all don't go on Spotify and Apple and listen the way y'all should, but y'all sit here and sending these questions and be like, yo, why don't people respect it?
And
not saying that brother did, but it's a lot of
let
people.
me clarify. Yeah. I definitely haven't listened straight through Fab's first couple of albums. Them soul tape joints is fire though.
So he don't miss with those.
Yeah, that's like bread and butter.
Yeah,
97% hit ratio.
Yeah, like
shout out to Fab, yo.
But
Fab's a punchline. Yo, we gotta go down punchline rappers and say who did it, who really.
It's a lot.
That's another episode.
Lloyd Banks is in there.
Lloyd Banks is boxing with anybody.
Jadakiss is in there. Lloyd Banks is in there.
I'm throwing Wayne in there too.
Yeah, Lil Wayne is definitely in there.
Cassidy.
Yeah, hell yeah, Cassidy's in there.
There's a list.
No, we can make a list.
All right,
Everyday Struggle Awards.
Here you go. Here's another topic.
No. Honestly though, I want when we discuss that, or maybe we could discuss it by ourselves. But I want one of those people with us to help us to kind of because like the way how they interpret punchlines. You know, certain rappers they got that instinct like they know when the setup is happening.
Yeah.
Like
man, and I got
it takes that ear and also that knowledge.
Before we go, I just gotta mention if we're gonna talk like that, we gotta give a nod to Stack Bundles because Stack Bundles. I mean, before he passed away, he was a motherfucker on that mic when it came to punchlines. Yeah. Absolutely. So we gotta figure that out. we definitely got to figure that out.
Start sending us the list. I know you guys have
Yeah.
some options
Give us
there.
a
So
list.
hit
Give
us
us a
on
five.
Twitter at EverydayShrug2Gs. DM us your list, send us videos, send us questions. We're not going to do them just on Thursday anymore, just whenever. So if you guys want to weigh in on a current topic, please feel free to send. And we're out of here. The podcast is back tomorrow. Wherever you check out your podcast, that's it.
Right.
Have a
Peace,
great
y'all.
weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Peace, y'all. Peace, peace, peace.